But of course, this is written by AI, which has clearly not tested any of this. Please, oh my god, okay, that is a polygon. Well, I'm kind of a goddess snake. How am I doing this? Okay, never mind, I'm so bad, I'm terrible. Welcome back to the virt-manager YouTube channel. In this video, I found an operating system called vib-os, or vib-os, which is apparently coded entirely by AI through the process of vibe coding. If you don't know what that is, search it up. I really didn't know what to expect going in, but let's say I know what to think even less now. I really expected this to be some kind of grand, you know, an AI finally wrote an operating system, but let's just say it wasn't that. Let's just say it wasn't that. And in case this is the first video of mine that you're watching, well, first of all, hello, and second of all, I do these operating system explorations quite frequently, and I always follow a set rubric. I go through something called the virt-manager YouTube channel operating system task list. This is a series of tasks that I must complete for every operating system that will judge how feature complete or usable they are. These tasks are in order: number 1, boot up; number 2, connect to the internet; number 3, get a graphical system running; number 4, get a text editor running; number 5, program vib-os, compile and run it; number 6, run a game; number 7, browse the internet; number 8, explore what makes it special; and finally, number 9, destroy the sucker. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. Of course, we are back on virt-manager, so let's create a new virtual machine for the AI-generated vib-os. So I have already built the ISO, let's select it, and we will put generic. Usage is not recommended, but we'll just go with it anyway because we have to. So this operating system is 64-bit, so it should be able to handle a good amount of memory. So I'm just going to give it 4 gigabytes, and we'll do, say, 4-core symmetric multiprocessing, or SMP. How big is the disk image? I guess we'll say 10 gigabytes, because again, I really don't imagine it will be that much. We'll call this vib-os. It's still saying no bootable device. I guess I'm gonna mess around with this for a while to see if I can get it up and running. So yeah, I've been looking through the code a bit more, and as you can see here, create boot image relies on something called HDI-util. Now the problem with this is that this is a macOS exclusive program. So I'm of course running Linux, and that means I do not even have access to this, and I really can't use it. And see, what's even more confusing is that here, there's a script called create ISO, which supposedly creates a bootable ISO image that can be used with VirtualBox, VMware Fusion, UTM, and QEMU. Now, I'm using virt-manager, which under the hood basically uses QEMU. That's interesting. I suppose it's probably because I'm in the scripts directory, which is really stupid because if you remember, looking at this create ISO, it actually says that the usage is you just run it from the current directory. So that means you have to cd into scripts and then run it. But of course, this is written by AI, which has clearly not tested any of this. Boot from ISO. So here it is giving us a command that we need to run in order to get this up and going. So let's try this. And hopefully this does actually work. Alright, I gave it the no graphic option. So here we go, we remove that, and now we run it, and okay, QEMU monitor. You know, I love this. I love the README for this operating system. It's kind of a treat. Built with 25,000 plus lines of C and assembly, and not a single fucking one of them runs even on QEMU. Now, I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm getting real desperate around here. I'm literally reading I'm reading Reddit posts of the guy who published the operating system on the internet. I'm just trying to see, like, I'm trying to get a little inkling of literally anything that can help me run this thing. Like, please. Okay, and here's the guy claiming that the operating system can run on a real machine, but like, I don't doubt that this probably does run, but on the other hand, you can't even explain how to run it virtually in a manner that actually makes it work. Please, I'm desperate to run this thing, I want to see it. Man, I have got to say, a lot of the stuff I'm reading here is a bit interesting, and keep in mind we are still on point number 1, boot up. Apparently this guy has a wallpaper in his main kernel file. I don't know, let me go check if that's even true. It might literally be a lie. Okay, so I mean, that guy wasn't lying. This guy literally has like registering files for wallpapers in his main kernel file, so that's certainly one of the decisions of all time, I have to say. This started as an experiment to see how far vibe coding could go when paired with real systems. Turns out pretty far, though unfortunately not far enough to have it actually boot. The thing is, I kind of feel absolutely insane right now because like very clearly, like, this guy has managed to get it running, and like, just none of it works. please. Oh my god. Okay, we are on the Limine boot screen. So let's go ahead and click enter to boot. And okay, I'm seeing some colors in the top. Oh my god. It's actually running. You know, I've only been recording for 1 hour and 15 minutes, basically. So was that worth it? Probably not. But you know what? We're in the operating system now. So, I mean, hey, I guess that's task number 1 completed. Now let's see task number 2, if we can connect to the internet. Is this an internet button here? No? Oh wow, look at that effect. That's like a... That's reminiscent of macOS, isn't it? That's kind of nice. That's kind of cool. Okay, I wonder what the hell are these icons? Okay, terminal, that's a pretty nice icon. It's very minimalist, but you know, you completely understand what it is. Files? Yeah, you can see what that is. Calculator? Look. I don't know who designed this. I don't know which version of Claude Code designed this, but my guy, that is a polygon. That's not a calculator. Notes? That one's appropriate, fine. Settings with a little cogwheel. Okay, I understand that. Clock? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And you know what? Fine. Clocks are circular. This almost wouldn't be as bad if 2 other icons weren't also just circles. But sure, let's see the browser. Oh, is it like an image browser? Is there some way for me to connect to the internet? I swear. Alright, there doesn't seem to be any way I can really test if I'm connected to the internet, at least not easily. There is a downloads there. Oh, that's kind of a... I don't know if I should be doing that. There's some documents, a report.txt. Where did my report go? Where did my report go? Did it die? Did it go away? Yeah, I really can't find a way to check if I'm connected to the internet, so I guess I'm just gonna have to give this a preliminary fail on point number 2, connect to the internet. So I guess we can go into point number 3, which is get a graphical system running. And to my shock, yeah, we actually do have a graphical system running. I was frankly thinking that I wouldn't get this up, but it is actually working, so that's really good. Point number 3 is a success. Now point number 4, get a text editor running. There is something called notes. Yeah, this is just a text editor basically, so that's pretty good. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open the file explorer, a new folder. Can you hear that? I'm clicking the new folder and it does nothing, you know. It is what it is. AI obviously can't figure out how to do it, I suppose. There's 2 ways to create a new folder and neither one of them do anything. I can't even create a new file. Really? Okay, can I create a file through the terminal? Let's open notes back up. Is that Control S? There's no Control S. Alright. Either way, look, task number 4 is complete, but from what I'm seeing, we're gonna have some serious issues doing task number 5 because I can do part number 1 of this, which is to program vib-os. And you may be wondering, why did you do it in Python? You don't usually use Python for these kinds of things. You seem to like doing it in C, right? That's what you've done for the past 2 OS videos, haven't you, Pyramid? Well, you see, apparently, according to this operating system's README, which again might be like 90% just complete baloney because it's all written by AI anyway, Python is like supported. Like they've ported the Python interpreter to this operating system. So naturally, I expect to be able to use Python for this. Whereas I don't know if there's a ported C compiler. Let's see this. You might be noticing my mouse is like really bad and jittery. To be honest, I don't know how much of this is as the result of, you know, the like vibe coding and how much of it is just because I'm in a virtual machine with a really shitty mouse driver. But let's not assume either way for now. Okay, Python not found. Python 3 not found. Python 2. Alright, so basically what we're noticing is actually there is no Python. That basically means I have no programming language with which I can actually run the vib-os I just wrote, if I even could run it with anything, given the fact that I can't save it to a file. I guess I'm gonna have to give it a fail for point number 5, but at least it succeeded on point number 4, so maybe that kind of makes up for it. Alright, now point number 6 on the Pyramid YouTube channel operating system task list is 6, run a game. This operating system, not sure how true this is, but allegedly it supports running Doom. At least this is very strongly promoted on the README. So as we see here at the bottom, in one of the default programs, there's Doom. So if we click this, what do we get? I said, if we click this, what do we get? So I am currently getting a big fat load of nothing. Okay, maybe it can't run Doom. Doom is, you know, a pretty complex game after all. However, there is something called Snake, and this is way easier to implement, of course. Anyone can implement Snake, really. It's very easy. So is Snake implemented? Okay, Snake is implemented. How do I use it? Oh my, what on earth is this? Okay, so it only updates, and it updates at a blisteringly fast rate when I'm holding the window with the cursor. Otherwise, it's just not updating. Well, I'm kind of a god at Snake. How am I doing doing this? Okay, never mind. I'm so bad. I'm terrible. So I guess every time you get it, it gives you 10 points. That's fine. Let's see if I can get to 150. Okay, we're at 100. Please, just like, let's get this apple. Come on. Oh, I ran into myself. Okay, well, to be fair, that is really hard to avoid when the game's updating so, like, insanely quickly. Press auto restart. Does that work? Okay, that does actually work. But then it's going really quickly again. So I'm gonna say I'll give the operating system a point for number 6, just because by, like, the technical barest minimum definition, this does kind of run something that's a little bit like a game, even if it's not doing it very well. Okay, number 7, browse the internet. As we saw already, the browser is an image browser and not an internet browser, so we can't really do that, and therefore I guess I have to give it a fail for number 7, browse the internet. Now, number 8 is explore what makes it special, and here we're gonna go through every last one of these apps to see what is here. So terminal, of course, we've already seen. Files. This is just the file explorer. We've already seen this. Okay, let's go to the calculator. Again, not sure if you can see this, hear it, whatever. Yeah, the calculator doesn't work. Maybe if I type the numbers myself, it works. Okay, so it does actually do calculations, but the thing is you have to type them on your keyboard and the, like, graphical buttons don't work. Can this do calculations with non-integer numbers? Oh, no. See, I'm pressing the decimal point here. It just doesn't enter it. Kind of makes you question why there's even a decimal point button here if you can't use it. Although, no, it really doesn't. The point is the AI decided to add it even though it makes no sense. The notes, again, we've already seen this. The settings, yeah, that's not the settings. That's a file manager. Look, if you open something and you click the same icon, it closes it. If I click on the files, it opens it. And if I click on the settings, it closes it. And vice versa. So literally the file manager and the settings are just like the same thing for some reason. Okay, let's open the clock. Does this work at least? Again, this is another entry in programs that only update when you are holding their, like, top bar for some reason. Okay, so this says it's like what, like 10:15, which no, is not accurate. It's not accurate. And the more confusing part is it doesn't even line up with the system time it says here, which by the way is also incorrect. The snake we've already seen. Now the help information. Clearly, if I install this operating system, I'm definitely going to want a bit of help. Keyboard shortcuts. F1 to F8 change wallpaper, F9 calculator, F10 snake game, F11 notepad, F12 clock, escape, close windows. Is that true? Escape does in fact close windows. That's pretty good. F1. Yeah, see, I'm actually pressing the F keys. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, this really does change the wallpaper when you press this. Although, how useful of a feature that is, I'm not particularly sure, because I personally don't really know of a single person in my own life who is like, oh, I need to change the wallpaper immediately. Quick, let's get a quick keyboard shortcut for that. F2. So F9 is meant to open the calculator. And it does. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Is the calculator meant to do that? Is my cursor, like, eating the calculator? Okay, yeah, if this also has the same issue. If I open it through F10, I can kind of eat it with my cursor. F11 notepad. Okay, now I'm not eating it. Now I'm rebuilding it with the cursor. So my cursor has chewed up the other two programs and has decided to just regurgitate them into this new program, which is the notepad. Then the browser. So this is, I mean, I'm clicking the buttons here and they're not really doing anything. But you know what? I think with that, we have completed task number 8. Explore what makes it special. And we can try to move on to task number 9. And the reason I say try is because I really struggle to believe that we'll be able to. If we will, it will be through the terminal. That is no doubt. Can I, like, do rm, del, unlink? So it seems like even something like a file deletion won't be possible. Yeah, I have to say, I don't think I'm going to be able to destroy this one. Like, it's not even because it's super indestructible or whatever. I'm certain there's vulnerabilities in this, but it's, like, really underpowered and you kind of can't actually do anything that interesting on it. So I guess that's kind of a fail for number 9. I'd like to thank everybody for watching my video. I really found this operating system interesting. It was quite an absolute pain to set up to really get everything going, but once I did, it was just kind of shocking in a way. I really expected this to actually be at least reasonably usable. You know, at least you should be able to write files or do the basic operating system things on it that you'd expect, but really no. This is actually a pretty featureless operating system, although I guess it is still interesting that AI can get an operating system running at all. If you watch this far, clearly you like my videos, so I'd really appreciate it if you were to leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and that'll be all.